Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm pretty much going to be testing a new product that I discovered, and pretty much the catch here is that I already ran this product for 2 days and this is my third day, but pretty much I'm going to show you guys the results in the first 2 days and how I set up the ads and pretty much all that kind of stuff. I won't be showing the product, but the only thing I will tell you is that it's a women's product, pretty much clothing, which is what I pretty much sell. That's how my brand is at this point. I sell women's clothing. So pretty much I'll be showing you guys the ad campaign and updating you guys throughout the days or day pretty much. But so far, what I want to get started with is showing you guys what our sales look like in the first 2 days. So as you guys can see here on the Shopify store, if we go back to the first day when I started, which was I believe Monday, I meant Sunday, not Monday, but pretty much this is what our sales look like and how our sessions and everything looked. So for the first day when I tested this product, we only got 2 orders and a total of $95 in sales. But if we count revenue into that, I pretty much made around $36, but that's not including the ad spend on that day. And again, the ad spend for that day is gonna be pretty crap because on Sunday, the day that we first tested the product, as I'll show you guys on screen, pretty much spent around $67 in ad spend. And again, that was so crap, but pretty much it's these 2 campaigns right here. As you guys can see, the 2 orders right here. I don't know if you guys can see with my mouse, but pretty much 2 orders right there. And again, the cost per conversion was $25 for $26, so it was pretty bad. So pretty much what I take home is, I believe that's 51, so minus 36. It's about negative $15 I take home. But again, that's pretty much how the game is when it comes to ads and running a business. You're not gonna always make money. And pretty much that was it. We only ran 2 campaigns that day. I ran an ABO and a CBO. Pretty much an ABO is like, from what my understanding is, you give TikTok, like, you don't give TikTok a budget really, it just spends and finds your audience, from what I know and from what I've learned. But a CBO is more like a budget wise, so pretty much you budget how much you want to spend a day. You can obviously turn it off or turn it on however you want to do it. You can stop at like $30 out of the $50 if you really want to. Pretty much I spent around $25 on that CBO. I spent $15 on the other CBO above it, which I forgot I had, but again, 0 sales. And I spent roughly $27 on the ABO. Again, they were all pretty crappy. I got only 2 sales, but it wasn't anything good. So pretty much CBO is, from my understanding again, is that when TikTok finds an audience, TikTok uses more of its like algorithm to find the better audience for you compared to an ABO, which is like it just scatters around. But the CBO has more of a targeted audience. Depending on how many ads you have, it pushes out the best ad or the best performing ad and pretty much tries to get you a sale through those ads. So again, I'll show you guys an example in here. So for the ABO, we only had 2 ad groups. And one of the ad groups, it was only 1 video because I was testing out only 1 video for the ABO. We also had another ad group, which again is another group but different video, and then the third group was also another video. They're all different, but you kind of get the gist of it. I'm testing out 3 different videos in 1 ABO, so TikTok finds my audience and all that. But if we go back to the CBO, as you guys can see, I pretty much have 1 ad group as we speak down here, but then I duplicated it and added more groups depending on how they perform. Pretty much with the CBOs, what I do is I create 1 ad group with 4 videos in it, or 3 to 4 videos in it, and then I duplicate that into 3 or 4 and pretty much let the ad spend and see which one performs better. Depending on which one performs better, I turn it off or on depending on how much, clicks it gets or impressions, and all those things come into play. Now, if we go to May 26th, the second day when I ran this product or ads or whatever you want to call it, pretty much I got 78 store sessions, $95 in sales, and again, the 2 orders, again, I think I made an average of 2 orders every single day, but it kind of changes out throughout the day. I'll get to that. But again, we only had 78 sessions and everything else was like eh. But now if we go to the ad group for that day on TikTok, as you guys can see, we spent roughly $49.23, which is so shit. But again, the profit on that day was around $36 before the ad spend. But again, it also depends on how cheap I get the product for, because one day it's up, one day it's down. It kind of varies. But other than that, spend roughly $50. So 50 minus 38 is $12 negative. So I'm negative $12. So again, that's not good. And pretty much I did run the first CBO and then I copied that one. So pretty much I ran the same CBO that day I showed you yesterday. And then for the third CBO, I created a new campaign, another CBO. But this time, since the first 2 ads were doing all right. They got 2 conversions those first 2 days. I took that one ad in those 2 campaigns and put it into the third CBO, assuming that that ad would perform better if it was just ran by one ad group with one ad in it and multiplying that ad group by like 3 or 4. So I'll show you guys what I mean. Pretty much the first ad group, and we had one video in it, and pretty much all I did was had one video in each ad group, and I duplicated it twice, so 3 total, assuming they perform better. And we did get 2 sales with these 2, and I'm still testing the same video out right now as we speak. But that's pretty much how that day went. Again, -12. So I think we're like about like -25 to $30. I'm assuming. I can't really do the math right now. But then if we go to the next day, which is a Tuesday, we got 0 sales. We got 59 sessions. And I'll pretty much show you guys again what that day looked like for the ad spend. So as you guys can see, we spent roughly $38.87 on that day with 0 purchases. And again, I used the third CBO I created, and then I duplicated that one. Again, assuming it'll do better, but again, it didn't do better. It didn't get any sales at all. Again, it's 1 campaign, 3 ad groups, and 1 video in each ad group. Now we move on to the next day. We got 3 orders, which is way better. And again, we only had 97 sessions, 3 orders, 143.85. We're about to see how much I spent on ads that day. I forgot how much it was, but I don't think it was too pretty. So yeah, we spent roughly $50 on ad spends. And the profit per 3 items were about 51. But again, I'll show you guys what that looked like with the conversion. So, which was kind of weird because the second CBO I ran, I turned it off for the last 2 days, but then I turned it back on for yesterday, which was Wednesday, May 26th. And apparently that ad group did really well. As you guys can see, we got 3 conversions. Makes no sense how these ads really run. It's kind of like a game we have to play and see how it works. You're going to lose money, a lot of money when it comes to this stuff. But again, it's part of the process. It's not more of wasting money, it's more of investing in, so your ad account can better understand your audience. Because this is a new ad account for me, and previously I had a different ad account where I spent roughly $2,000 just to get my audience like optimized, and after that I started making money every single day, as you guys can see from last year's videos. But again, I'll show you guys what that looked like for this. So pretty much, again, we got the first ad group up here and the same 3 videos, and again I just duplicated it. That wasn't even the group that did well. I turned it off because it did so bad. But as you guys can see, the 2 conversions right here. But as you guys can see, every $5.96 I spend on ads, I get a return on a purchase. So yeah, pretty much that's how you read the charts. I'll make a more in-depth video in the future about how to read TikTok charts and all that stuff. And now we're on day 5. So from my understanding and how like I read my analytics is pretty much all of my orders are coming in towards 6 p.m. and after that. That's one thing I took notice, and what I'm gonna do now is wait to run my ads till 6 p.m. So I'm gonna try to up the budget at 6 p.m. from $50 to roughly $100, depending on like how much I really want to spend on these ads. But other than that, I'm gonna show you guys what it's like to set up a CBO campaign and an ABO campaign. All right, so we're back on the ads manager, and what you want to do is go to create on the top left. I recommend you run an ABO first, and then run a CBO once you see some sales or some clicks with your ABO, because your ABO gives you more of a test on how your product will do before you start spending a lot of money on this. So I'll teach you guys first how to run an ABO campaign. What you want to do is, if it's possible, up here go to switch back, because that's how I learned how to run ads. I don't know what TikTok's doing with optimizing their whole fucking thing. So what you want to do is go to website conversions. Make sure for the ABO you have this Smart Plus campaign ticked off. You're going to want to name your campaign. So if you want, you can call it ABO 1 or something. And then you want to skip all of these things. This is for your ABO again, remember. You don't have a budget for this. You can turn off whenever you want, but pretty much it's going to start spending at 0 and spend as much as you like throughout the day. Next one to do is choose your pixel. And then what you want to do for optimization event is make sure you get a purchase or complete payment. It'll say purchase as of now, but I'm assuming it's going to change in the future. But make sure you hit purchase, because we want our optimization event to be purchasing. We want customers who actually purchase our product, not who are going to add to cart or just view it. Next, what you want to do is go down to select placement, and you want to take all these things off because these are other apps that are not going to really be valuable. And in my opinion, I usually keep user comments off, but again, it's preference. Next, what you want to do is who you want to target. For me, I personally just target the United States. And for the age, I usually go above 18 and over. Next, the gender, I always do female because that's what my brand is targeted towards. And everything else you can just leave as is, unless you guys want to tweak with this stuff, which you don't really need to. You always start with 20 as your budget, but then you can obviously pause it whenever you want if you don't want to spend that much. Then you want to select a time you want to start your ads at. What I recommend doing is starting the next day at 12 a.m. So it's pretty much going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, and then the next day. The next one is optimization goal. You're always going to keep it on conversion, never do anything else, but I'm assuming it's going to automatically put you as that. So next we want to do is add your creative or video or image. Personally, I think videos work the best. Images is kind of a hit or miss, but I would recommend doing videos. Next, what you want to do is add your text. Pretty much what I do is a buy one get one free offer usually, and then your call to action. Personally, what I recommend putting for these is obviously unchecking all these and just doing shop now. And then obviously you want to put in your website, and that's pretty much it. You publish all. That's it. Then what you're gonna do is hit on duplicate on the ad that you just published, and you can publish it as many times as you want, like 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to do. Publish it and keep everything the same. There's nothing for me to show you because everything stays the same. The only thing it'll tell you to do is change the time that it starts at. Next, I'm gonna show you guys how to run a CBO campaign. So again, depending on how you want to do this, I usually hit switch back and I go to website conversions again. You want to tick off Smart Plus campaign again. And what you want to do for this one is name this one CBO1 or whatever you want to call it. And this is where you hit CBO campaign budget optimization. And again, you're going to take this on and then make sure that you spend at least $50. Now, you're not going to spend $50. You just have to put a placeholder for $50 because it'll tell you to. It won't spend it like that. It won't take it out of your account. It'll just spend slowly and slowly and slowly. You can obviously stop it whenever you want to. Next, you hit continue, and pretty much everything else is pretty much the same. You choose your pixel, do purchase, same placement, same everything. Everything you want to target, that's everything you need to do. And then I'll tell you guys to the next step, which is the video part. So what do you want to do after the ad group, or the third step on the screen, is use Smart Creative to create ads. Then you want to do the same thing, upload and text. Literally everything else is the exact same. And you hit publish. And if you want to duplicate the CBO, just duplicate the ad group. But again, the same thing works for duplicating your campaign. If that campaign is doing really, really well, my strategy is just testing out all these campaigns because all these campaigns find different audiences. I'm going to be turning on these ads around 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I'm pretty much going to get back to you guys at the end of the night. And we're going to see if we make any sales and how much we spend on ads. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this part of the video so far. And again, I'll see you guys tonight. All right, so I didn't get a chance to update you guys last night on how we did on sales. Right now, it's Friday morning. Pretty much the last day I'm gonna run this product. But I will show you guys what we did yesterday. So as you guys can see on screen, we did three orders, 143 in total sales, and only 58 sessions, which was really bad, but somehow those converted. Profit-wise, not that good again. I wanna say about like $60 maybe. But I'm going to show you guys what the ad campaign looked like actually. So if we go to Fridays, I spent roughly $46.57 on ads. That's not good again, but as you guys can see over here, the conversions right here were 3, and every $11.37 I spent is when I got a sale. So the campaign that I ran for yesterday was the CBO2, and then I proceeded to run the same thing, but I copied the campaigns. But those didn't perform well. As you guys can see, only got 2 clicks, 0 clicks, and then like nothing over here. We're still, I think, break even or negative, so we're not in the positives at all since I started this video. But other than that, I'm gonna leave you guys here with this because I'm gonna run these ads again at 7 p.m. tonight, and I'll make sure to show you guys the results tonight for sure. And that's where we'll end off the video in the whole week. But other than that, I'll see you guys later. All right, so I didn't get time to record Friday's part of the ad campaign and break it down everything because I got busy, but pretty much Sunday. But I'm gonna break down what happened on Friday. So as you guys can see here on my ads, we actually spent roughly about $36 right here, as you guys can see. But other than that, I pretty much just did everything I've done in the last couple of days, just ran the same CBOs. I'll show you guys the sessions on that day. As you guys can see here, May 30th, 35 sessions, no sales. So that gives us a profit of quote unquote $192.50. But if we include all the product costs and all that stuff, we made roughly nothing. I think we're in the negatives all the product costs because this is just the profit without the product cost. As you guys can see, this whole 5-day thing didn't go as planned, but it happens when it comes to drop shipping or having a brand. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I hope you guys got a lot of information from this and some real point of views and some reality of what it's like to run a whole business online. So again, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys do subscribe because I do plan on having more content coming out throughout the next couple of weeks during the summer. And again, I'm hoping that all helps you guys out too when it comes to starting this whole dropshipping thing. I will be creating a free course in the near future just to help you guys out and give you guys some transparency on what it's like to run a business, and also give you guys some lessons that I learned throughout this whole thing so you guys can speed up your own process and not mess up like how I did from the beginning. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Peace.